The phrase "standing firm" occurs 13 times in the Bible. Out of those 13 times used, the Apostle Paul used it 11 times. Definition: standing firm. To refuse to change a decision or position, a conviction, unwavering, resolute, refusing to yield to pressure and opposition. We might think we will never waver or yield to outside pressure and will always stand firm in the things of God. But we see in Galatians chapter 2 that even the Apostle Peter didn't stand firm in living under the new covenant of grace. The Apostle Peter had to be rebuked by the Apostle Paul because he was mixing law with grace in regards to the Galatian churches, Gentile believers' salvation and sanctification. From Galatians chapter 2 verses 12 to 14 we see, Paul opposes Peter because he was eating with uncircumcised Gentile converts until legalistic Jewish believers came to the church, who thought circumcision is a requirement for salvation and that Gentiles were still unclean by Mosaic law. Peter withdrew from the Gentile believers because he was pressured by the Jewish legalists. He feared their rejection. Other Jewish believers were influenced by this and also withdrew from the Gentile believers, including Barnabas, splitting the fellowship. But Paul confronted Peter's mixture of law and grace by saying, "Why are you now forcing the Gentile believers to comply with the ritual of circumcision to be saved? That is, Old Covenant law, not New Covenant grace. In addition, they are not unclean. All believers are clean because of the finished work of the cross." Brothers and sisters, the Apostle Peter didn't stand firm in the new covenant of grace. If this can happen to Peter, this can also happen to us as believers today. Paul corrected Peter, and sometimes we might need to be corrected from law-keeping back to living under grace. Paul concluded his rebuke to Peter by saying that we have died to the law so that we might live to God in Galatians chapter 2 verse 19. Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 says, "It was for freedom that Christ set us free. Therefore keep standing firm and do not be subject again to a yoke of slavery." Brothers and sisters in Christ, always remember this. Christ set us free. Stand firm in your freedom from the law. Let all God's people say amen.